Welcome to the French Newfie. Today I'm going to prepare for you ceviche, and I love ceviche, and I'm sure a lot of you will as well. Maybe you're not familiar with ceviche. It's a Latin American traditional style cooling cold appetizer or main. I've had it quite a bit in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's beautiful when it's hot outside. It's nice and refreshing. And my version, you can make it very fast and you don't have to wait as most traditional ceviches require you to wait. So I'm gonna start with some nice already cooked prawns. These are baby prawns and they're already cooked. So again, you don't have to wait for the prawns to cook or cure in the citrus acids that I'm going to be adding to the mixture. So I'm going to get this into a nice glass bowl and I'm going to put it all in, all that goodness. And then what I like to do is have everything chopped pretty much the same size. For appearance, it's entirely up to you, but I like to have everything kind of in a uniform shape. And I've gone ahead and I've already done some avocado, and it might seem a little difficult to get the avocado into cubes, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to put these in first, and then I'll show you how I achieved these tiny little cubes. So we have the avocado and I've just halved it, and then I'm going to take the pit out, so smack down on the pit and you turn it and put that off in your bin bowl. And then you want the avocado to be a little bit firm, ripe but a little bit firm, and that's going to ensure how you get these little tiny cubes. So just cut it off like that, the top, and then peel around. And as you can see, it's firm because it's not falling apart in my hands, and that's going to help out as well. And just put this off to the side. Okay, and now what you want to do is just take, there's a little pit there, get that off as well. Take the knife, put your fingers on top, and just go in like that, one slice and down, and then again and again. And I just want to give you an idea. I already have it done, but this is how I achieved these little squares and cubes. And so just take your knife and down like this. And then again, so you make little tiny cubes. And if you don't want to do this, you can just chop it and make it more rustic. It can be lovely that way as well. And as you see, when you push down, the cubes will separate. And also when we add the lemon juice and we add the clamato, the cubes will break up and it'll be really, really pretty and uniform. So I'm just gonna get this off to the side, and then we're gonna move on to our tomatoes. And I've just diced the tomatoes. I've left the seeds in. Some people like to remove the seeds. You can do that if you want. I haven't. I have no problem with the seeds. So we're gonna get that into the mixture as well. And then another one, because tomato is pretty popular in ceviche. It's a nice base and color, and you get lots of juice, which is what you're after. Coriander, I've just chopped the coriander as well. Just dice it tiny little pieces and get that into the bowl. And now we're gonna move on to some scallions. And I like scallions for the freshness, for the color. So we're going to just chop the onions, and this bit you want the white part. The white part is delicious, don't take that off. But there is a flowering end and you want to cut that off. You don't want that in there. So these are going to be small anyway, so don't worry about trying to get a cube on these. It won't happen. So just little tiny rocking motion back and forth, moving your fingers back, and you want to have your knife really, really sharp, especially when you're trying to achieve these little cubes and these little cuts. It can, you run the risk of cutting your fingers. You won't get the proper chop that you're looking for. You really need to have a sharp knife. Take the time to sharpen your knife. It's your biggest tool in the kitchen. And if it's dull, it can do a lot of damage. So, some scallions in there as well. And now I'm going to move on to some celery. And I love celery for the freshness. Not everyone is a fan of celery. Again, if you don't want celery, leave it out. So then I can get little cubes with this. Just take your knife, run it down like that, And the celery that I purchased didn't have the leaves on it. I love the celery leaves. I use the celery leaves for everything. But today I didn't get the ones with the leaves. So. And again, just down like this. And you're getting all the same size for the ceviche, which is nice, I think, because every bite will be uniform. You won't have celery overpowering the prawns. You won't have it overpowering the tomato. Everything will all come together and it will be nice and uniform. Back again, be careful for your fingers. My knife is very, very sharp. There we go. We're gonna get some celery in there as well. Celery can be overpowering, so try and use a little bit less of the celery. Okay. And now we're gonna move on to cucumber. And I love cucumber, especially in ceviche. It's fresh and it's bright again. So I'm just gonna show you how to do this one. I like to leave the skin on. Some people like to take the skin off. It's all about preference. This is also an English cucumber, and the skin of the English cucumber is less tough. So this is a good one if you're gonna keep the skin on. And again, we're going to just go down with slits. This will ensure that you have cubes. So again, rocking motion, keeping them all together, lightly pressed, don't press too hard, and go back, just like that. And right at the end, you can always move your fingers away and do a final chop, just to be safe. Again, use the back of your knife to pick it up so you're not dulling your blade. Okay. And now we're going to move on to some citrus. And citrus is typically what's used in ceviche to cure the raw fish. You can use grouper, you can use red snappers, really popular, but this is going to be a really fast ceviche. So if you have friends coming over, you don't have time for the fish to cure, this is my recipe and this is why I chose the prawn, so it's fast. Okay, so some citrus juice, and it's really, really bright. Lemon, of course, lemon in everything to do with seafood. Oh, and I have this little catcher here, this strainer, and that will catch any seeds. There you go. I'm going to use the juice of 1 whole lemon, just like that. Give it a good squeeze. Also, any seeds get caught. Okay, and then we're going to move on to a blood orange, and these are so beautiful. You're going to see when I open it up. It's lovely, sweet, perfect for this type of fish. The color is really, really pretty inside. And again, there are seeds, so squeeze down, good squeeze. Look at the color of that, it's beautiful. And get that. I'm going to use 1 whole blood orange as well. There we go. All right, and I like to use lime, lemon and lime. They go hand in hand in most of these recipes. You don't really have to worry about the seeds of the lime, because most of them don't. But again, to be on the safe side, no one likes to bite into any type of a seed. And use your muscles with this one. Limes are always really difficult to squeeze. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is add some clamato juice, and I absolutely love clamato juice in my ceviche. And tomato juice would work well, but the clamato juice is already seasoned. It has clam juice in there as well, so it's going with the theme. And again, this is my recipe, so you can use tomato juice if you prefer tomato juice, but I use clamato juice in mine. Okay. We want it to be like a cold soup, so you want to bring it up so that there's enough juice so it's swimming around. And again, this is going to be a fast ceviche. If you have guests coming over, you don't have to wait, like I said. So in the typical recipes, you would use some type of a chili pepper. You could use a green chili pepper, you can use red chilies, but because we're doing this speedy, I'm gonna use a hot sauce in mine. And if it sits for a while with the chilies, you can't judge how hot it's going to be. So this way, you know, after you taste it, if I can get the top off, how hot it's gonna be. So a couple of dashes of that, a couple of good dashes of that, like I'd say 10 or 12. And there's a lot of salt in these hot sauces. Plus my prawns were already in brine, so that's really, really salty. I'm not adding any salt, and if I need it later, I'll adjust it then. So I'm also putting in some Old Bay, and I just think Old Bay is perfect for any type of boil up that you have, lobsters, crabs, clams, anything. I love this. And I'm just gonna get a little bit, not a lot. I would say about a teaspoon of Old Bay in there, just like that. Now, bring the bowl in the center, and we're gonna mix it all together. Get everything incorporated. This is so beautiful, the smell already. I remember eating this almost every day in Trinidad, and it was so great. You'd be sitting outside, and we'd have a cold beer and beautiful ceviche with whatever fish they provided for the day. You can really make it your own and what you want to put into it. The colors are beautiful, and everything is chopped kind of the same size, which is really nice. There you go. And this is the fast version. This is my version, so I'm going to try it right now. It doesn't have to sit. You can let it sit, but it's fine to eat right now. You could serve it with some toasts, you can serve it with lettuce, you can serve it with some corn. Tortilla chips would be beautiful on the side to scoop it up. I'm just gonna give it a quick taste and see. Pardon the crunch. This is really fresh and fabulous. And even with the bread, it's lovely. So now, I recommend maybe 20 minutes in the fridge. That's all you need. Make sure that it's cold with this recipe. What I have here is a bowl of ice water. And if you're bringing it outside on the deck or for your guests, you'd want this. It's gonna ensure that everything stays delicious and cold and bright for the warm days. Just on a bowl of ice, just like that. And there you have my quick and easy, delicious ceviche. I hope you try it.